Hello and welcome. In this short series we're going to take a close look at the infamous W item glitch in Final Fantasy VII. This technique allows you to duplicate items in battle. Most Final Fantasy VII players know how it works, but there are several more complicated variants of it that are less well known. Almost every item in the game can be duplicated without cost, using variants of the basic technique. I have seen videos explaining these advanced glitches in other YouTube videos, but never with a voiceover, with clear explanations, and never in one place. All of these glitches can be performed on every version of the game that I know of. They do not require any physical hacks of the system, PC mods, or anything like that. These techniques are for serious Final Fantasy VII players that want to take their party beyond the standard limits of the game. This is the ultimate guide to the advanced W item glitches. Let's begin with the basics. You probably already know what the W item glitch is, but for those that don't, it allows you to duplicate items very rapidly in battle. In its most basic form it looks like this. To duplicate most items, all you need is W item equipped to any character. In this example we will duplicate Mega Elixirs. To begin, select W item, then select the item you wish to duplicate. Then select a party member or enemy to cast it on. Then select your second item. But do not cast the second item. Instead cancel that action by pressing circle once. You should notice that a Mega Elixir has been returned to your inventory. Now, once again select the Mega Elixir. But, again, do not cast it. Cancel again by pressing circle. You will see that you have a brand new Mega Elixir. Select the Mega Elixir again, but then cancel with circle. Now you have two new Mega Elixirs. Select again with X, but cancel with circle. Select again, cancel again. Select and cancel, select and cancel. Select and cancel. Keep on repeating until you have 99. Once you get the gist, it's easy. Once you get the hang of that, you can duplicate any item that you can use in battle. However, the W item glitch can do much more. Only knowing the basics doesn't allow you to duplicate nuts, like carob nuts and seal nuts. It cannot duplicate sources, like god sources, mind sources and magic sources. Nor can it duplicate weapons, accessories or armor. Before I show you the advanced versions of the W item glitch, I think it is worth delving deeper into the basic process. This time I select W item. I select the potion in item slot 1 and cast it. But then I scroll down to the elixir in slot 2 and select that. As before, I don't cast the second item. Instead I cancel. Then I reselect and deselect it. Notice that the first item, the potion, is duplicated, but my cursor is selecting and deselecting the elixir. In order to understand the advanced glitches, it's important to also understand this concept first. But it also has some other practical uses. Let's, for example, say that you only have one hero drink and you want to duplicate it. The basic W item glitch would not work. You don't have a second hero drink to select. But using this slightly more intricate method, you can duplicate it, no problem. I apologize to anyone that feels like they are being taught to suck eggs. it's almost time to move on to the advanced techniques. The first advanced technique we will cover is the steal method. The steal technique is good for getting 99 copies of the following items: carob nuts, zeo nuts, fire armlets, bolt armlets, aurora armlets, water rings, Adaman bangles and dragon armlets. You can also use it to gain 99 Shinra alphas, tough rings, Zedriches, and Minerva bands. Lovely, you can get 99 reflect rings and circlets as well. Those latter items are more difficult to acquire, but this will be explained later in the video. Before we get down to business, I must also explain what so-called dummy items are. This is another concept that is key to understanding all the advanced W item glitches in the game. A dummy item can be any item that you can use in battle. It could be a mega elixir, a hero drink, or perhaps a potion. The only hard set rule to dummy items is that you own one of them, and only one of them. For the sake of simplicity, clarity, and because it is typically the best option, I suggest that your dummy item should be a green. Greens are bought from the Chocobo Ranch. Forget about Silkius and Regan greens though, just buy the cheap ones. These include Cracker, Mimit, Pisana, Tantal, Gisel and Curio greens. You should never own more than one copy of a dummy item. Do not buy more than one of each green. I always use greens for my dummy items because they're very cheap and quick to replenish. A brief trip to the Chocobo Ranch is all it takes to get a bunch more. Now that you have a dummy item, you must also customize your item list in a certain way. Go to your items menu and select Customize. Place your dummy item in the uppermost slot. Place any other usable item in the second to top slot. In this example, the dummy item is a Mimit green and the usable is a mega elixir. Next, we need to set up our characters with the appropriate materia. For this technique, it doesn't matter what characters you use. One character needs W item equipped and another one needs steel equipped. That's it, you are all set. You can set up the rest of your materia however you like. Just note that it is strongly advised that you don't equip any sort of counter-attack materia such as counter-attack, counter, or magic counter. I should also note that it is important that you don't have any copies of the item that you want to duplicate. In this example, we are going to steal 99 carob nuts from the Vlacarado's enemy. This enemy can be found near Bone Village. So, before heading into battle, I'm going to sell every carob nut I own. Once you're all set, enter the battle. The following commands must be issued quickly. Also, there is an element of luck, but that will be explained in a moment. During an enemy attack, quickly select Steal. Then select W item with your net character. Select and use the item in the top slot before the first character manages to steal. Just wait for a moment or two. Provided you manage to steal a new type of item, the dummy item, the Mimit Green, will be replaced with the stolen item, the carob nut. Once this happens, you are good to go. Select the duplication item. Deselect without using it. This will duplicate the stolen item. Select it again, deselect. Select, deselect, select, deselect, select, deselect, over and over. Now you should see the carob nut being duplicated instead of the green. That's why we call the green a dummy item. The green was just a placeholder for the stolen item that we wish to duplicate. Let me explain this. When you gain an item, it will normally be stacked on top of any items you previously hold of the same type. But, because you do not own any of those items, the item instead finds the first empty slot in your inventory. Because we got rid of the green in the first part of the W item glitch, that inventory slot was vacated. The W item glitch simply duplicates whatever is currently stored in the first slot. Now, because the original item has been replaced by the stolen item, it is the stolen item that is duplicated when we continue the W item glitch. Try it out. It takes a lot of explanation, but it quickly makes sense once you have tried it for yourself. This technique is great if you want to breed chocobos, because zeo nuts and carob nuts can be duplicated this way. But it is also useful in the Jelnica sunken plain. Every enemy down there has rare items to steal. Fire armlets, water rings, aurora armlets and bolt armlets. Just a note, if you fail to steal, the trick will not work on that turn. To regain your mimic green, select your duplication item once more, and then cancel once by pressing circle. This will restore your dummy item. Now you can try again. Also, you can increase your chances of stealing by equipping the sneak glove. You can buy this at the MIDGAR gun shop late in the game. The Turks also have very rare items that can be duplicated using this technique. The Minerva band can be duplicated by stealing from Elena, the Zedrich from Rude, and the Tough Ring from Reno. All three can be stolen and duplicated in the Raid on MIDGAR mission at the end of Disc 2. W item is first obtainable in the MIDGAR subway. Because you need the W item Materia before you fight the Turks, it is essential to head south immediately after exiting the shaft that connects the MIDGAR underground to the subway. If you head north, you will trigger the fight with the Turks and miss the opportunity. Keep heading south for several screens. Eventually you will come to a save point, and you will see the W item Materia lying on the ground. This is a little more complicated than other instances of the steal glitch, because you must repeat the glitch 3 times in the same fight. The principle is exactly the same though. Just make sure you have dummy items positioned in the uppermost slots of your item inventory. Make sure you don't own any Tough Rings, Zedriches, or Minerva bands. Alternatively, you can just equip those items, just so long as they're not included in your item inventory. Protection against confuse will be useful in this fight. Ribbons and peace rings are good. Hades linked to added effect on your armor is another good defense. The Turks hit pretty hard, so beyond the required steel and W item Materia, equip plenty of defensive magic. Big Guard for defense. HP plus Materia to boost your health. Regen linked to all Materia is also very useful. After that, you can set up your Materia however you like. As always, don't equip any form of counter magic though. In this demonstration you can see some of the difficulties I faced when performing this glitch. At the start, I cast Regen and Big Guard to protect my characters. I selected Steel, followed by W item, and began the W item glitch. When I saw that the Steel had been successful, I scrolled down and began selecting and cancelling the Mega Elixir to duplicate the Minerva band. Because the Mega Elixir was now in the 4th slot of my inventory, I couldn't see how many copies I'd managed to duplicate. I thought I was done, so I scrolled up to take a peek. Oops. It turns out I had 2 more to go, so I scrolled back down and continued the W item glitch until 99 Minerva bands were acquired. Next, I tried to steal the Tough Ring from Reno. This time the steal was unsuccessful, so I returned the green to my inventory, using the technique described earlier. By this time my regen had worn off, so I recast it and tried again. This time around, I lucked out. Finally I managed to steal and duplicate the Zedrich with no problems. To finish off, I threw everything I had at the Turks to get them dead. Omnislash made short work of them. It's unfortunate that the first required use of the advanced W item glitch is such a complicated one. It may be worth keeping a save before this point and returning to it once you are confident with the mechanics. The next place to use this glitch is against the soldier first class enemies. These are also found during the raid on MIDGAR, shortly after defeating the Proud Clod. You can win 99 Shinra alphas from them. This is the last time in the game that you can acquire this type of armor. There's nothing special about this enemy, just be careful not to miss your chance. Ultimate Weapon also has 2 items that can be stolen and duplicated: the Reflect Ring and the Circlet. Because W item is only obtainable at the very end of Disc 2, it is important that you don't defeat it until after the raid on MIDGAR. If you kill him before you perform this glitch, you will miss your chance. Ultimate Weapon has 100,000 HP. Your final battle against him is only triggered once the cumulative damage from all your encounters decreases its HP to 20,000 or less. Before that, Ultimate Weapon can be fought multiple times. Ramming the high wind into it a few times will cause him to travel to one of several destinations. If it travels to Gongaga, Fort Condor, MIDGAR or the Northern Crater, the fight will commence on land. If you fight it on land, you can steal Reflect Rings. After a short period of time, Ultimate Weapon will flee the battle though, so you must execute the glitch quickly in order to get 99 instances of the item. If Ultimate Weapon travels to the Junin area, Midil, Mount Nibel, North Corel or Cosmo Canyon, an aerial battle will commence. If you fight it in the air, you can steal Circlets. To steal from it in an aerial battle, you will need to equip long-range Materia. Remember, you cannot steal the Circlet in the final battle at Cosmo Canyon. So be sure to nab the Circlets and Reflect Rings before you weaken him too much and trigger that fight. I should note, there is another way to duplicate the few items that you can miss, but that is a topic for another video. The steal technique is the method that I recommend anyway. As mentioned earlier, you can also use the steal technique to duplicate Adaman Bangles from the Adamantaimai enemy found on the beaches of Wutai, and Dragon Armlets stolen from Dock Dragons in the Northern Crater. Well, that's just about it for the steal technique. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it may have been a lot to take in, but this guide aims to be exhaustive. Episode 4 will provide a digest version of all the glitches in this series. In the description you will find links to the upcoming episodes, timestamps, and notes for quick reference. In the next episode we will be covering the morph technique and the advanced morph technique, which will help you to duplicate every type of source in the game. I hope to see you there. Goodbye.